Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Black Girl Brunch. My name is Iman.
And I'm Sabria.
Thank you all so much for tuning in. Week 2 on camera. Mwah, mwah. Check us out on the YouTube.
Yes.
So sorry we're late. Long story short, shit happens. And, but we're still here. And I think that's what we should focus on.
Exactly. We're still getting used to our new schedule. So bear with us. And adding another element being on camera. I heard you motherfuckers said that my camera was dark. Well, guess what, bitch? I got light this time. How about that? So, I have light. But
cursing people. Not you cursing people out less than 2 minutes into the show.
But we are still working out the kinks, Also, I got my auntie fan because I had to close my door, et cetera, et cetera. But we move, we still move.
We're still moving. We're still here, and that's it.
Exactly.
Let's start with the most important question. How you doing?
I'm so excited. I have a 4-day weekend. I remember, I feel like I used to pray for times like this. I just never, working in retail, this is my first time having, an office job where, you don't have to work weekends, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. This is my first go-round. So, last year, they caught me slipping with the 4th of July. I did not utilize, I was caught slipping. But this year, I swooped in. I said that Friday, let's put that time in. We're off Friday.
And what are we doing on Friday?
We are getting lunch with another podcast host, Deandra.
Shout out to Deandra.
Yeah, shout out to Deandra. Yeah, so we're getting lunch. It's going to be a key. I just slid myself in there. Well, Iman asked me that I want to go. I said absolutely. But yeah, so I'm so happy to have a 4-day weekend. This is what did Hillary Duff say? Hey now, this is what dreams are made of. It's something simple. Having a 4-day weekend that just you gotta. Because like I said, this is my first go around at an office job. In December, it'll be 2 years that I've been at this job, and I'm still trying to understand the office when you take off certain holidays so you can get your more bang for your buck. I'm still trying to understand that. Like I said, got caught slipping last year. This year, can I tell y'all how I already called off the days after Christmas?
Period. I literally was just sitting back counting my vacation days. I was how long, I'm trying to wild out specifically around Thanksgiving and Christmas. Because, so this is my favorite time of year.
I called Black Friday off already.
Period. And this is my favorite time of year because, every month I make sure I have a day off, essentially.
Yes. So that's what I need to do. I was scared to do it, actually, honestly.
Well, now, here we are. I have this little 4th of July vacation. I had a little Juneteenth extended vacation last month. August, I'm going to take a very intentional vacation for my birthday. September,
I called your birthday off, too. I was wilding on work day. I was wilding on work day.
Going crazy on work day is so funny because you ever get in the mode you just looking at jobs on work day, you be checking out different people. I love work day.
Me too, because everybody always asks me, they're like, how do you know the manager in North Carolina?
Because I was looking at that tree. I was looking at that tree, finding out who worked for who.
I love the tree. Yo, the tree.
I love the tree.
You be like, okay, so this person worked under this person. Because you're like, why are you coming up here like you a boss? Are you even a boss? Let me check the tree on work day. You at the bottom of the tree. You're not even at the top.
And the people at the top be the nicest. The people at the top of the tree be the nicest.
You in the middle of the tree.
I was so curious about why these two people were always in the same meeting, and then I searched and I'm like, y'all don't report your boss is not her boss. What's the connection? So I literally asked. I was like, what's the connection between y'all two? Why are y'all a fucking package deal all the time? And when I found out that it's just because they friends, I said, what the fuck? I thought this was strategic. That tree will put you on to some information.
I'm telling y'all, get on that workday tree. Like,
get on that work, get on your Zoom and start learning your organization.
you think it's just something to clock in, check your time, whatever. When I tell y'all I use Workday for all this, they getting their money's worth. My company is getting their money's worth. Me. Okay.
I go on Workday and I'm like, okay. So okay, all right, that's good to know.
Especially if you have a job that's in more than one location, I was able to, a patient, she was in Reading and she needed to be seen like ASAP. Went on Workday. I found the manager at our Reading location. Bam. I was like, can you please get her in today or this week? Bam. They was working on it because I went in that Workday. Okay. Period. That's teamwork, baby. Y'all better get on your Zoom. Get on that Workday. Okay.
Oh my God. Well, I'm so happy you have this time off. I'm happy I'm off. And I've never felt so entitled to time off than I do this week. Period. Baby, my job got their money's worth out of me this week. They put me to work. They put me to work. Like, let's just say I got into work at 7:30 a.m. yesterday, and I left at 5:15 p.m. So it's
me too.
That's early. That is a long work day.
That is.
And then it was like non-stop meetings. Like I was talking, it was to the point where I was like timing my lunch, timing my bathroom breaks, but you know, that's how it be like the week before the time before days off. So I'm tired. Like I'm really, really tired, and I'm happy. I'm so happy to just sleep in. I started watching this movie on Disney Plus that was just like pure nostalgia. It was called Jungle to Jungle. It was Tim Allen. He found out he had a son who was living in the Amazonian jungle. So he bought his son from...
I'm sorry.
Yeah, follow me here. Just walk with me for a second. He take his son from the Amazonian jungle to New York City. So now his son's like...
I think I remember that.
Yeah, his son, slightly problematic. So you just gotta... Just ignore it.
Why was he in the Amazon? What happened? What happened
was his wife left him because he was a stocks bro. He wasn't paying attention. So, and he didn't want kids. So when she found out he was pregnant and she started seeing how he was, she said, "Fuck it, we're going to the Amazon. That's it, period." And she was a doctor, so she was like treating the different like villagers, and she raised her son up with them. So when he had to go all the way to the Amazon to get a divorce paper signed, 17 years later, he found out he had a son, and his son wanted to go to New York with him. So
I found out he couldn't talk.
His son spoke perfect English, actually.
Okay, good. Oh, my God.
Yeah. So I was like watching it like with my shoulders real high, waiting for things to be problematic, and I was like, okay, not too bad. One thing that was bad was his name was Mimi Sue, right?
On.
And when Tim Allen went to call him, he said, "Hey, Mr. Bishi, get over here."
That is so 90s.
He said, "Mr. Bishi, whatever your name is." I was in bed like, but I fell asleep on it, so I'm gonna pick it up tonight. That's what I'm excited to do.
Yo, yeah. I cannot fall. When it comes to movies, I be so nosy. Like I cannot fall asleep I have to pause it when I feel sleepy.
I put on something low stakes, so that I'm like,
even that I just
really
be minding the business.
If I can't finish Lady and the Tramp tonight, will I really be upset? No, I won't. It's okay. I can pick it up tomorrow. It helps to distract me, and it's timed. My therapist told me to stay away from TikTok when I can't sleep because it's endless. It's endless scrolling.
But they do cut you off, though.
What?
You ever get those messages? It'd be like, whoa, you are scrolling for way too long.
I used to, but not recently.
Really?
Yeah.
I get them all the time. It'll be like this bouncy ball, and it'd be like... That's why I tell people like, have you seen the new TikTok? No, because when I'm on TikTok, I'm on TikTok, okay? I'm logged in. I'm clocked in.
Yeah, TikTok is the best sometimes.
But I get the message, it's like this bouncy ball, and it's like, take a break. But I always get, I don't know if it's because I'm black, like the demographic, any whiteys out here can answer my question. Do y'all get... Because it's always
who gonna probably answer them being a whitey? Like, even if I'm white, I'm like, you're not talking to me. A whitey is different.
Watch this. But
for data purposes.
For data purposes, I need to know. I need to get the metrics because I only get this. It's this black guy and then this black woman that I always get, and then it's like the animated like bouncy ball that's something like to chill out. But it's the black guy. He be like, "Whoa, you been scrolling for way too long."
I know you ain't scrolling. It's like, all right, bro. Yeah, I'm sorry. They targeted you. They targeted you.
I think they targeted. Like, do y'all get white people like that say like you've been scrolling way too long?
It's like, whoa, buddy.
Yeah,
You've been
I'm really curious
to
know because I only get that. But yeah, they cut me off. I don't know if I put it in my settings or something like that.
Maybe. Because I was on there for hours. Eyes red with veins in them, and they was not cutting me off, and I needed to be cut off real bad.
I feel like I could only be on there for an hour and they cut me off.
What? Child, I'll be on there. I was on there. I would go to sleep, and I'm like, oh my God, it's 4 a.m. I mean, I would go to bed on TikTok. It would be 4 a.m. My AirPods would die, and I still would be on there. Yeah, I'm not proud of that, but that's why I go to. It's not something I'm bragging about. It's just, yeah. But anyway, let's get into this fave 4, shall we? So sorry, y'all. I'm in the hood. You know, you're gonna hear some noises, maybe some firecrackers. But let's get into some of the things we like to do after work. I think it's been a long time since we've spoke about leisure activities. So I'd love to hear from you, Miss Girl. Like, what do you do for fun after work? Like, what are your 4 favorite things to do after work to help you unwind?
So, sorry, I just saw smoke. I'm like, am I there grilling? But anyway, I decided that after work, I don't want to just like go to sleep or like just go in the shower, go to sleep. Like, I want to maximize my time off because I feel like I'm not doing the things that I love. So, I am after work. I'm reading, and I put it on my Instagram right now. This is what I'm my bad, Joe. I can read. It was upside down. I was trying to look at the camera still. This is Curvy Girl Summer by Danielle Allen. This is what I'm reading right now. It's getting really good. It's getting really juicy. I'm just like I'm busting at the seams. But yeah, I'll read a book. So I'm like, again, not scrolling on my phone and doing something that's like considered my hobby. Because I'm a book girl now. I'm saying that. I'm putting it to the universe. I'm a book. I'm a bookie.
I love that. Reading books is so fun, and it also helps you to honor your childhood. I love it.
Exactly. And I am raw dogging this book. No audiobook, baby. Because I didn't feel like figuring it out on Spotify. So, because I don't have Audible, so I have.
Excuse me, there is nothing wrong with Audible.
It's not. So I am doing it on. I read books. I have audiobooks on Spotify, but for some reason this one it was like something else. I don't know. But I'm raw dogging this book, and I'm having so much fun doing it. Even though it's taking me a long time to get through it, because I feel like every time I want to read, like when I got like a moment at work, somebody needs something. But I ain't at work.
So
but I am at work. And the next thing also, so I'm maximizing my time. So I was like, I realized on our phones, if you have an iPhone, you can like do it says like focus time. So like I started customizing my focus time. Like I put like reading a book, nice. I'm at the gym, or I'll put like I'm watching TV, because I'm like, I love my friends, love my good Judies, but sometimes like I'll like get a call and like I want to like watch a movie or watch a TV show. So like I started customizing, like I'm watching a movie, I'm watching a TV show.
Sometimes you're just so drained from the day that the thought of talking can make, well, let me speak for myself, it makes me nauseous.
No, saying because
like, I'm gonna throw up. I can't talk.
Yeah, especially me, because I have a customer facing job. Yeah, so and I have to entertain, and I have to solve problems and like be like, yeah, I'm sorry, yeah, I'm totally sorry about that. Sorry about that. But
I'm tired when I get in.
And another thing I do is watch something on. I said something. What the hell? But watch something on YouTube. Y'all know YouTube really down. I pay for YouTube. Like I love YouTube, and it's so funny because I just saw a tweet that somebody said men love YouTube. I am men. Like the only people that love YouTube more than me is definitely men. Like if you got something to talk about, there's a YouTube video about it. I'm always telling people to go to YouTube to find out something, how to do something. The way I found out how to like cut wigs like this because of YouTube. Like I am a YouTube fanatic. So like I watch one or two videos. If my favorite like Sims player, Let's Player is like upload an hour-long video, I'm like, that's my video for the day, like after work. So I like watch a YouTube video. And then the other thing is, I realized I can watch a movie or a TV show. I don't just have to watch something on YouTube. So actually today, that's a shame. I had to put everything on my calendar, yo. I had to even put this on my calendar. But I'm like, I'm gonna watch my shows after work. So I'll either find a show, like it was a show that I had watched when I was a kid, but like I couldn't really get into it because I was like a preteen, teenager, and I was like sneaking watching it. It's called Being Human. And so that's a show. And also I got the idea from Iman, because Iman, one thing she gonna do is she gonna put on the show. So I started watching Being Human, and it's about a ghost, a vampire, and a werewolf, and they're roommates. And I'm watching the English version, which is the best. There's an American version, but I wanted to watch the English version. So that's like the show that like I'm watching, like that I just put on. But currently right now I'm watching The Boys, which I think comes on tonight. So I have to watch the new no, it's tomorrow. So I have to watch the new episode of The Boys. And then I'm going to, now that what's it called, Interview with the Vampire is over, I'm going to watch Game of Thrones. But like if it's a show that comes on, House of the Dragon, yeah, I'm gonna watch that. But if there's a show that comes on after work, I'm like gonna watch it. I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'll wait till. No, I'm gonna watch it. And another thing is play a game. So usually I'll do that on Fridays because, if I have a day off, because how invested in games I get. So I think I said it last episode that I was like, oh man, I haven't played The Sims in a while, and I feel like I can't play Sims like a normal person because I'm just like obsessed. But I found out, like, I'm like, oh, I can do it on a Friday, and I can just like deep dive if I don't have nothing to do the next day. Like, and when we get off of here, I might like play The Sims. But yeah, I'm playing a game, like just doing something to like get my mind off the day and just like diving into my hobbies. Because I'm like, I don't have to, except like I want to do stuff outside of like just going to the gym or like meal prepping. So like I make sure that I do like at least one thing that's like one of my hobbies after work.
I love it. I love it. Hobbies are so important.
Very.
For me, this is kind of a new one. I like to go sit into a restaurant after work, and sometimes
I do that.
It's not always like a fancy one. Like I go, like sometimes we go to Chipotle after work, and I sit inside. We will go to like Chick-fil-A. I'll just get some French fries and like a lemonade, and like I just don't want to go straight home after work. I just want to be like, all right, let's just sit somewhere, eat something. And like the other day, we went to Fridays. Like they got a very good Beyond Burger, so that was great to go to Fridays randomly because I hadn't been there in years, and it reminded me like back in the day because that's like a place we would go like after school when I was young. We went to like our local like mom and pop. There's like a Chinese restaurant in our neighborhood, and like literally as soon as I go in there, they're like, "Hello, Nasiman." Like they know. you know the restaurant. They know me. Oh my god! Like one guy played me so bad the other day. I was like, you know what's funny? He just asked me your name, and I don't know your name, but you know mine. Could you share your name? He was like, well, actually, this is my third time telling you that my name is. I said, you didn't have to say that this is your third time telling me your name, and I forgot. I was like, okay, all right, I'm sorry, my bad. And I'm like, you know what? I do remember him telling me his name before, but his name, no shade, is kind of like one of those forgettable names. Like, I'm sorry, like, if you tell me your name is Deshante, I will remember it for the rest of my life. But for some reason, if you tell me your name is Jack, I don't know. I can't remember it. I don't know. If you tell me your name Bill, I don't remember that name. Julie, don't remember.
No, I get it. Sometimes, especially, like, don't let it be a Julie and a Julia. I'm
or, or Juliet, please, come on. Like, it's so, I'm like, cut me some slack here. Like, you know, but he was like, it's so funny that you don't know my name, but everybody in the building know yours. And I'm like, please stop rubbing again. But yeah, that's like an example of something like I like to do. Number 2, I have a garden. So it's like really growing, and my tomato plants and my string beans are literally blooming. So if that, they're flowering. Sorry. So little flowers are showing up, and that's usually a sign that some veggies are about to fruit. I'm growing so the string beans. I'm growing the tomatoes, cilantro, chives, eggplant, and peppers. So like I literally just looked at a picture of when they were really small because I grew them from seedlings. Like I didn't go and pick them up half grown. Like I grew them from scratch, and everybody in my family kept telling me it's so hard to grow them from scratch. It's so hard to. I did it. So I'm like, the fact that I'm literally, it was something that I wanted to focus on and nurture. So it's really great. Like after the first thing I do in the morning when I wake up, like honestly, before I brush my teeth, I go look at my plants.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, and then the first thing I do when I come home, like I literally don't even take my shoes off. I go and I look at my plants, and I was really hot during that, no pun intended, during that heat wave because my plants were really getting scorched. I didn't like it, so that was terrible. Another thing I always love is taking a walk. I have not been taking as many walks as what. Yeah, because it's been hot. But the first day was nice. I took a walk again, and like sometimes I guess more than taking a walk, just getting fresh air. We have a deck, so sometimes I just like to sit on that deck and like watch TikTok, sit on that deck, talk on the phone. Like it's just nice sometimes to have that fresh air, to see people in the neighborhood. Like I live in a neighborhood where there's like a lot of like, people who've been here for a long time. So I see like the elderly folks and their grandkids coming over, their kids coming over. And I just love that feel. Like I feel like for as long as I'm in the city, I like feeling like I live in a community. So that's great. And the final thing on my list is just rest. Like that truly is my favorite thing to do after work. Like there are days where I'm just kind of depleted because that's what happens when you work hard. And I come in and I'm just like, bro, like I'm toast. Like it's nothing. I'm toast.
Now I'm toast.
I'm toast. So I just come in and like I like to take a shower. I be getting giddy, like getting in the shower, putting on like something real big and comfortable. Like
same. I cannot wait to do that as we get off here because I want to tell y'all I came straight from happy hour with my coworkers and I have on shapewear and a push-up bra and I want to crack my head in the screen of this MacBook.
It's the worst. And then like I'm like, no, I want to wash this makeup off, like, because I can't even lay down, like, without having my makeup going. Yeah. And then it's like, oh, I love when it's something I have to watch, like Bridgerton, Love is Blind, like, all those different shows. So that's my fave 4. And we would love to know what you like to do. Leave it in the comments. Let us know on the socials how you like to unwind after work. Yes, all right, so now let's get into this toast for a sis. This week, we want to toast for the Angel Reese because she just brings so much flair, so much passion, so much attitude, and I mean that in the best way.
Yes.
So, and she's a tall, beautiful queen on top of that. I like her style. Like, that's all I got to say. I like her energy.
She just seems so cool. Like, and also I was saying earlier to Iman, like, this is so exciting because, like, when I was younger, like, a lot of people weren't into the WNBA. And I feel like maybe they were in the 90s, but, like, then something happened. And, like, now it's, like, back where, like, people are, like, totally, like, invested in the WNBA, which they deserve.
Which they absolutely deserve. It's so disrespectful, like, learning what some of them were getting paid. And it just takes a lot of, courage and a lot of, like, I guess tenacity, which is the word I don't use a lot, to be Angel Reese because she really people really tried it with her when she did that you can't see me thing,
like, and it was never that serious,
and they're still trying to pay Caitlin Clark to be some unsung hero when she is mediocre at best. And I just love that Angel Reese never fails to remind people are not watching this game because of Caitlin Clark, they're watching it because of me. And I'm like, a lot of people don't like what she's saying right now, but you just wait. In about 10 years, she's going to be in history books, celebrated. Like they do all black women. And like any other like black activists, they give people hell in the moment and then they idolize them for being brave like that years later. Like,
because even they're doing that even now with Sha'Carri. Like, people were like, "You," and that was like a year or two ago.
Yeah,
and people were shitting on her and like thinking, "Oh, she's
now
done,"
look at
and
her.
like
Now
now,
look at her.
look, like that's crazy to turn around on
And
it.
they were trying to say Angel Reese wasn't that good during the season, and now she is literally performing better at this moment than Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, how about y'all go out there?
It's just insane. It's
I know I
incredibly
won't.
insane. I would like to give an honorary toast for assist to Lady Danbury. Um,
What?
yeah, Lady Danbury from Bridgerton. Hear me out. She is one of my favorite fictional characters that has ever existed.
Whoa.
And yes, she's one of my favorite. I've never felt so like just seen and proud of a character. And the actress that plays Lady Danbury's name is Adoja Ando. She's Ghanaian, beautiful, classy actress. But I just love an all-knowing woman. Like, I don't know. I love a woman that be doing like this. Like, you just never know what tricks they got up their sleeve. And that's Lady Danbury. Like, she's just amazing. I love her so much. And I just feel very inspired by her character, her storyline. And there have been so many people replicating how she speaks on TikTok. And it's just the most funny thing. I'll send you a video, even though you don't know who she is, Sabria, because I feel like the videos alone will still make you laugh because they're crazy.
Okay.
All right. So moving on into tea time. Let's BET Awards. Let's just hop right in. Did you watch?
It happened. No, I did not watch them.
Me neither.
I was watching an Interview with the Vampire. And
It came
also
on a Sunday night, right?
yeah, I think
I-
it was.
I was
Sunday
watching
night.
Palm Royale with my mom.
Yeah, and also I didn't know. I forgot. Like I feel like after like I graduated high school, I just forgot about the BET Awards, and like that's no shade. Like I know it comes on in the summer. Like I always know it's like June or July.
June, yeah.
But I didn't watch it. But it did seem like it was a good lineup of people, substantial people, and like mainly I'm talking about Victoria Monet. Like shout out to a woman who's 34.
And in
Hello?
amazing shape. Somebody who applies pressure to herself.
Yes.
Somebody who is like, I'm coming here to be iconic. Like she's just so like I'm literally getting goosebumps as I'm talking about her. She was a star. She was literally the star. Her performance, I think, is up there as one of my favorite performances. Not just like the performance she did with Tiana Taylor, but also like when she was performing, was it All Right? And like right now is her cobalt blue era, so she's like heavy, wearing like blue, and she just changed her outfits like all these different times, and I'm like, oh my god, like I was kind of complaining to Sabria about the amount of like all right, I'm gonna sound old, but the amount of twerking, because I was like, come on, like why is it so much of this? Like when I think about the BET Awards back in the day, it wasn't so much like focused on ass shaking and sexuality. It was always a sexy moment or two. Come on, it was always a sexy moment. Like remember when Destiny's Child did Cater to You, sexy moment. When Kelly Rowland performed Motivation, sexy moment. Like women have always, and people have always been sexy and sexual at the BET Awards. Like that's not new. And I for sure don't have anything against sexuality, but it gets to a point where it's like, it's just corny and old to me. That's it.
Cracking.
And oh my gosh, I'm so sorry guys. Somebody's like blasting music. Okay. Apologies. But then it also gets to a point where I'm like, oh my god, is Patti LaBelle in the audience and y'all doing this? I get secondhand
But
embarrassed.
also Patti LaBelle, come on, she was at Scream Tour when I was. She is a.
But-
I think Patti LaBelle is a freak, low key.
But you know how old people be. Like, I don't know. I'm like, it's like, who in the audience?
I think Patti LaBelle would probably be like, shakes her. I don't know.
What does that mean?
I feel like
It was old butt cheeks?
Yeah, I feel like Patti LaBelle was like, shake it.
Please never say that again, because I just don't want to picture Patti LaBelle that way. And I get it. Like, they're women. They have their little sexual... They have this inside them. Like, they got the prowl inside them. But I don't know. I just felt uncomfortable. I think it's respectability politics from when I was raised that make me feel uncomfortable when people do certain things, and I know folks of different ages are in the audience. Like that's how I feel. I'm like, all right, guys. Like it's just not family friendly, and it's corny. Like I'm sorry, when Sexy Red and Ice Spice was on the stage, I felt secondhand embarrassment because I'm like, oh my god, like we got literally living legends in the audience, and they're doing this shit. Like, I'm sorry. I start to feel like it's going a little too far. She was singing a song that was like, ooh, baby, babe, I love you.
She was twerking
you my everything. She was just like, babe, I love you. You know, and what she doing? She like driving fast cars. I'm like, this don't belong here to me.
I mean,
it's what the kids like, but it's not. I just feel like we're going too far, and there's a such thing as exclusion. Just like there's a such thing as inclusion, there's such thing as exclusion.
It definitely is the BET Awards.
But the BET Awards used to be really great. Like, are we not?
It did, but
yeah, and
the artists were.
But Victoria Monet and Megan Thee Stallion,
and they definitely
Glorilla
did.
And Chloe and Holly were also on that stage. I don't know. I just felt like, I don't know. I guess this can go into the state of music, the conversation, because that's the next step. Because before we do, can we just give a shout out to that Usher tribute? I love that all women did it.
That was really cool. The fact that only women did, because like a lot of these men cannot sing. They can't like never forget what's his name, Gideon.
Gideon. Something Gideon. What is Gideon? Gideon is such a funny name.
Like he probably swore he was going to do it.
Oh my god, no, he couldn't have thought that. No way, he couldn't have thought that.
No, you know men be delusional.
But then I'm like, think about it. Who he gonna pick? Trey Songz? He probably got on probation right now.
I'm gonna say all the male singers should be in jail or
are currently in jail or should be. And then it's like Chris Brown. Didn't Chris Brown get into a fight or something with Usher recently?
With who? You said
Chris Brown. What? What I say? What I say?
You said with Usher?
Where am I from? Alabama. But yeah, didn't Chris Brown and Usher get into it like recently?
Yeah.
I
mean, so who didn't get into it with Chris Brown? I'm not saying that about him, so he can be under this comments be like, I know that fat bitch not talking. Yeah.
I'm just like I just completely I'm just gonna say this real quick. I've been watching a lot of you. And a lot of people are they're going to this concert and I'm like, I'm genuinely
we the only ones
shocked.
that don't like that nigga. We the only ones. Me too. I'm genuinely shocked.
Yeah, and I was laughing because on the Gossip in the City comments, they was like, yes, the ladies did a good job on the tribute. If y'all want to see Chris Brown so bad, he in concert right now. And I'm like,
no, for real.
Go watch him.
Also, okay, talking about that. So I think Gossip in the City posted it. It was like this fat black woman, twerking for Chris Brown tickets. I'm like, girl, he don't like you. Like, he do not like fat women. He do not like when you darker than a paper bag. Yeah. You look like a damn... Ooh. Sorry.
I'm going to stop you there for legal reasons. I feel like,
It's no way.
Yeah, it literally is no way. And you know what's funny?
If you would have saw how she was crumping, it was so...
You didn't say she was crumping. You said she was twerking.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Never mind.
Women who like Chris Brown they act like they are actually active in a relationship with him. Like, this one girl I know, was like, oh my God, babe, I'm sorry, I'll be at the next concert. I'm like, you 40 plus, and I know that for a fact.
And also, if you're not lighter than a brown paper bag, he does not care.
And then this other girl wrote Christopher Maurice Brown. I'm like, what? Y'all stuck in the 7th grade, like calling him his whole name, Christopher Maurice Brown. Like, I've been there in the 8th grade. I've been there.
And that's where you should have left that shit.
That's where you should have left it. I'm like, this is really, and I'm like, I know the type of woman y'all are. Y'all like you really don't care. Like, even if somebody forgive you for what you've done, like your acts of violence, personally, I will never not look at you like you're gonna hurt me. And like the fact that like people just be like, "Babe, I love you. You are everything." I'm like, you know what? It's no use. That's how I feel. It's just no
Exactly.
use.
Yeah.
But anyway, the women, the ladies did a great job, and my favorite was the Tiana Taylor and Victoria Monet. Like Tiana Taylor sounds amazing. I'm happy Keke Palmer got her little moment. Marsha Ambrosia, no, I don't know what that was. I wish you. Yeah, she sounds like Gideon or Gibeon.
Why would you say I don't know what that is?
She was in the dark, and I didn't know who. I said, she will sound this terrible. I looked at the tags. They said Marsha Ambrosia. I said, she usually sound good. What is that? She's like, I was like, not you in the shadows. It sounded like shit. I'm listening to you. She sound horrible. And somebody in the comments was like, Marsha, what was that? Like, literally, it was horrible. I'm not a big fan of her after finding out how she treated Amanda Seales, either.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And she was very dismissive about being a mean girl to Amanda Seales, and I just was like,
She definitely looked like she was the mean girl.
So yeah, I guess we can get into the state of music real quick.
Yes.
So personally, I'm feeling very proud and inspired by the state of music.
Yeah, I feel like it's getting better. And also, like, if you don't listen to top 40, it's like really good. Like, if you don't listen to like what's popular, it's like music is just like, oh. Like, first of all, I feel like the people our age and like younger who are like doing like electronic music or like you know, different like types of like pop and stuff like that are just like killing it. Like me, I freaking love Shy Girl like so much.
Yeah.
Like her music is so freaking good. Like I don't know what you would categorize her music as, but her music is so good. And I feel like it reminds me like her album Nymph that came out 2 years ago. Like it reminds me of like music that I wanted to listen to in the 90s, like in a club when I was a kid. I'm like, ooh, when I get older I can't wait to listen to that. This is what I'm gonna listen to. But when I listen to her music, I feel like she had the same thought, but she wanted to make that music. Right. Like I love that. I feel like if you don't, again, also Charlie XCX, like I have listened to her music passively, but her newest project, like Brad, is just like everything to me. Like it's so freaking good. But I feel like if you're listening to pop or like music that's like not so like this is like her most popular album, Charlie XCX. But like I feel like if you're listening to stuff that's like not on TikTok, like it's like some really good music out here. Like some really good music out here.
I would argue if you're listening to stuff that is on TikTok, there's some really good music.
Yeah,
like,
some of it is really good.
Like I find that's why I think I'm inspired by music because of TikTok and like some of the new artists who are becoming big. Like I really like Lay Banks. Like I really like.
I'm cracking up. I can't do that.
You don't like Lay Banks? I like what she's doing. That's what I'll say.
I like what she's doing. Again, I said it's not for me.
That's what I'm saying.
But
so
I like what she's doing.
Here's the thing. It's not for me personally, but I like what she's doing. I like how she's using the platform. I feel like every little era gets a social platform that they come up on. It used to be MySpace, and you know, it was like kind of YouTube. I've never really experienced it being Facebook, but Instagram had this moment where people would come up from Instagram. Like some people argue that Megan Thee Stallion literally came up from like Instagram and Twitter, because like those viral videos like really set her there. Like Chloe and Holly, YouTube, and so seeing like some of these new artists now coming up from TikTok, for me is really inspiring to watch. It's crazy to see somebody young from North Philly have that creativity in their hands, and it really does make you feel like anything is possible. I like how TikTok can take a love like from, what's her name, Money Love or Money Long, I forget her name.
Money Long.
Yeah, Twin, Where Have You Been? That song, like it was out for a really long time, but one person just kept making this one video to it, and, you know, and next thing you know, it's going viral. And like that's a song that I really love, but I just had not heard it prior to it. I know something. Yeah, so I like that it can like change things for people like that. I love Sabrina Carpenter. I have been introduced to her from TikTok. Like, I heard her name and I used to see her like pop up and people will talk about her style and stuff. She's been like out there for some time, but I'm like, no, I really, really love her because of like, you know, TikTok. But even outside of that, like what I like most about music is I think people are making it and they're not really focused on charting. Personally, I feel like the only person who's still fixated on charting is Taylor Swift. And it's kind of sad to me. It's very
sad.
pathetic because it's like, why do you care about these numbers versus like Beyonce? I think Cowboy Carter was a beautiful project. Like, it really is one of my favorite Beyonce projects. Some beautiful songs. Like, a lot of her songs.
Listen to it.
It's really good. I'm like, and it's like, obviously she has some songs that went viral, but then she has like 16 Carriages is a beautiful song. It is
definitely a beautiful song.
So, you know, I just think people are making songs and they're like, okay, cool. Of course I want my songs to be successful, but it's just like, I'm just making music.
Yeah, because like, why do y'all, like, do it bang in a club, do it make somebody feel something, like, do y'all care about that? Because like, who cares? But also, these charts are fake. Who's doing it?
Exactly.
Also, a lot of people don't even listen to radio. So I'm like, where are y'all getting these numbers from? Like,
I guess it's streaming numbers, like who's streaming the most of it. But it's like right now, you can be very successful in your niche. You can be very successful in your niche.
Exactly. But also, streaming is not fair, and I didn't realize this until JT, her single "Okay" came out. So she was like posting like, can y'all like make sure y'all stream? I did not know that if you put the song on repeat, that does not count towards their stream.
Yeah, and that's usually how people listen to things they like.
Yeah,
so you gotta keep going to something different. Like, that's absolutely insane.
Because when I tell you, for the Broad Street run, I finished in like almost 4 hours. And that whole time, I listened to "Okay" on repeat just to get me through the run. So I listened to that song for 4 hours on repeat, and you mean to tell me
it didn't count?
It don't count? Like, that is crazy. And then you gotta like add it to playlists. And then I forgot what's the other step, whatever. Because like she had put like step by, like the fact that artists have to do that, like put step by step, like what you should do in order to like, you know, because like for some people, if they're on a label, they want to see that it's like, you know, the label wants to see them numbers. So they have to do that. But somebody like Taylor Swift, like her label, she's gonna chart regardless.
Apparently,
so like I don't know why she's
releasing different versions of her most latest album, so that
she kept on doing it. It was so weird,
pathetic. That is pathetic. Just to say you won. It's like, girl, come on. Like, how pathetic can you be? And nobody's talking about that album. Like, no shade. It seems like her album before that, like, a lot of people really, really liked. But I'm like, nobody's talking about this shit. Nobody's talking about it. It was corny. But one thing I would like to see more of, because, again, I'm really happy and I'm feeling really inspired by the state of music. But I feel like, I've never thought I'd ask this question, but where are the men? Like, where are the men? Like,
that's why I'm loving it, because they're not here.
But it's kind of weird. Like, how is it that, like, y'all are not making any music?
Because they're on, I mean, I know we have a podcast, but, like, they're too busy talking shit on podcast. It's probably some men that talk shit on podcasts.
But the thing is, I'm not talking about the men I could care less about. Like, I'm not talking about, like, Rick Ross. I'm not asking Rick Ross to make any more music ever, to be honest with you. I guess, like, the people I'm thinking about are, like, who exactly am I thinking about? Okay, so Kendrick Lamar dropped like "They Not Like Us." That was amazing. Like I'm like, that's really one of my favorite songs of the summer. It was a really good song. But I'm like, why are we not getting no music from, I guess, like our faves from 10 years ago? It's like they're like everybody who's making music, with an exception of Beyonce and Taylor Swift, it's like they came out within the last 5 years. And I feel like for a very long time it wasn't like that. Like when we were young, Jay-Z had been making music since the 90s and consistently. But now it's like, okay, Rihanna's not making music. Obviously people like, let me even use Justin Bieber as an example. He's not making any music.
These niggas are on drugs.
Huh?
I said they on drugs.
Justin Bieber?
Allegedly.
Oh my gosh, I'm cracking up. I wouldn't know, but like I'm just saying, even like Jaden Smith, like where are I want people? I'm about to say I want to pick the thread up and keep it going. Where is Tyler the Creator? Where is Frank Ocean?
I feel
Where
like
are
they're doing other projects. Like,
and I want that to quit. Like stop. Like I want to hear from them. I want to hear
honestly,
from Future. I want 21 Savage to keep
Future
bringing.
they did just drop
Yeah,
an
it was,
album,
but it
Metro.
wasn't really good in my opinion. Like it just kind of stayed like with them. It's not really viral. It was enough
Yeah,
to
he
stir.
do have some songs on TikTok, like the new Future stuff. That's from the Metro Boomin.
I don't hear it at all. I don't hear it, and I feel like there was a point in time where Future dropped something. It was all you heard, like mask
But I'm
calls.
honestly okay. I personally am okay with it because I really don't like Future. Honestly, was like the only man that I consistently listen to, and then there's like another like rapper that I listen to who's a man. But like, I'm not really interested. I feel like people are. I mean, maybe they're working on stuff behind the scenes, but I feel like they are making stuff. But like, we don't really. It's not. I feel like people want to hear what the women have to say right now.
I want to hear,
like,
yeah,
they
I do
wanna
want to
know
hear what the women have to say, but it's kind of been a few years of it. Like, not to say that women get a time limit, but I don't want it to feel like men have to step back in order for women to be heard. Like, I just think that like it's
well,
like,
they need to come harder.
that's what I'm saying. I want them to come harder so that we can hear a array. Sorry, y'all, they going nuts with these firecrackers right now. But I just want to hear an array of things because I also I listened to some men artists as well. But, you know, I'm not going to complain for what we get, but I guess I'm just more curious. It's not like I'm tired of hearing women. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just like, where y'all at? Like, what's going on? It feels weird. It feels like
Battling demons.
it's unprecedented. Like, there's never been a time that I can remember where there were just like really no men making music. It's weird.
Because they battling demons and they need to
Perhaps.
figure that out. But yeah, because like I feel like when I was in high school and stuff, it wasn't that many. Like, it was female rappers like here and there, but I'm like, it's a plethora of them. So like, I am so excited because I'm like, oh my god, there is so many of them right now. Like,
and I'm excited
so
too.
excited
Do not get me wrong. I want this to be the norm moving forward. Like, I just want this to be the norm moving forward. I'm just like, it's just, I find it strange. That's more so what I'm saying.
Well, also,
I find it very strange.
I feel like men in general are not showing up. Period.
Yeah, I feel like it's creating resentment. Like, people are gatekeeping when they're not. Another thing I'd like to see more of, I guess I just touched on it, is like, so Katy Perry is making a return, and I was very happy about that at first because if you know me, you know Teenage Dream is one of my favorite albums. Like, it really is one of my favorite albums in life. So I was really excited because I'm like, who knows? Like, she took some time off, she became a mother, but that shit she came out with was horrible. It was like, it wouldn't have even been good in 2008. It wouldn't have been good at any point in time.
I knew that shit was gonna be lame because like I don't get like the aesthetic she was going for because like that aesthetic is like for like underground artists. Like, there's an artist named Arca who like did something exactly like that. Who like was an artist who worked, like the it looked like she had horse legs and it looked like some AI shit like. For the women's world thing, like that is something that like artists who are like experimental artists, that's what aesthetic like that experimental artists do, like people who work with fucking Bjork, and I'm like, that's not you, kitty cat. Like,
really? I mean, she is the same person that did Black Chorus Extraterrestrial,
but that's not experimental like what I'm talking, like that's pop experimental, but it's not like underground like Bjork experimental, sounding like the artist is banging pots and pans and shit experimental.
You talking about,
like,
wait a minute, to be clear, you talking about this picture here?
Yeah, that was weird, like, to me, for it don't go with the song.
So don't go with the song, but this picture to me feels very Katy Perry. It does.
Maybe if I didn't know who Arca was and I didn't see.
Yeah, I don't know who Arca is.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if I didn't know that it would like, I'd be like, oh, whatever. But I'm like, to me, I'm like, it's corny because I'm like, it looks like something that an underground like experimental artist would do.
Yeah, and for me, I'm like, okay, I'm thinking about like she has experimented with like in California Girls, like dressed in different ways and like a wonder, like she's, I guess what I'm saying is she's experimented with fantasy enough for that to not to be something that would tip me off on the song being ass. But it was. That's the thing. Like
Yeah,
that song was horrible, and it don't matter how. I mean, and I don't even think that album art is particularly great. I just think it's like in line with who she is. Like I don't know. I guess I want to see like legends being legendary, but I was just watching the Rocket Man movie, which is Elton John's like autobiography slash musical. They say the movie is based on a real fantasy, which is beautiful because it's like some elements of like things being unreal. But it showed like Elton was on fire. Like in the 70s, he was on fire. And then in the 80s, his, drug habit got really bad. He burnt a bridge with his main songwriter. And it's not that he didn't have a single hit in the 80s, but his career took a dip. And then he came kind of back once he got clean and he started doing like, he was like really living in his truth in the 90s. He was doing advocacy work and fundraisers for different campaigns. Like he was honoring Freddie Mercury. He was raising money for HIV. He was just like collaborating with, recent artists, and he came back. So I'm like, no artist, it's very, or should I say, very few artists can maintain their, like, very few artists skip their flop era, is what I should say. Beyonce,
I feel like she's been in her flop era for a minute.
She has been in her flop, but she's doing what I think this is a more normal path for an artist. I think Beyonce is an example of someone who never had a flop era and probably never will, because she don't make music for like, she's just too involved and in touch with her music to ever have a flop era.
But also another thing I realized, we also grew up. Like, I feel like the people who are like kitty cats, like the people who are like, oh, I still didn't get my Hogwarts letter, like people who are those like cringe millennials and like mustachio question, that is for them. That music is for them, yes. And they still love it. Like people who like Meghan Trainor, stuff like that. I feel like Katy Perry is falling into that category, and we couldn't see it because we were younger when that stuff came out. So of course it hit different because we were younger, and they were like
that it was trash though.
It's not trash. Like it wasn't like, trash.
Let's think about it. She released Teenage Dream. Like
I probably wouldn't like it now.
Me feel like I'm living up. I would be like, hell fucking yeah.
As a 32-year-old woman.
As a 32-year-old, because it's honoring, like you make me feel like a teenager. You make me feel like that, like young love.
I feel like I wouldn't like it.
I definitely would, because I still like her music now, and I feel like there were songs that were corny back then that I felt like Bruno Mars. Remember how we hated Bruno Mars because we was like, this shit is so corny. So I'm like, I always had an ear for what was corny. And
well, I don't think it was. I don't think the stuff was corny. It's just like now that I know, like I don't know, I've lived.
You don't think her new song is corny?
Yeah. Oh, for sure, without a doubt, that's corny. But I'm saying like her music, like for instance, I'm trying to think like for instance, You're So Gay. Like, I love that song.
See, I never liked that one.
It was like, I just feel like
I did not get that. I never understood that. Now, I Kissed a Girl and I liked it. Would not fly these days. Like,
definitely. And that was on my MySpace. I was like, whoa. But I feel like she just is stuck in, like, she's definitely mustachio question.
Extraterrestrial would have, to me, it would have flew. Like, it would have been really good today. And I think if California Girls was attached to a soundtrack for something, I might have liked it, but I can't say with full confidence that I would have liked it as much as I liked it back then. I feel the same way. But TGIF, abso-fucking-lutely. Like, there's just some songs that are good.
It's a fun song, but I just feel like she just is a corny person, and now I feel like the eyes, I feel like my eyes are open now. I'm like, oh yeah.
It makes me scared when people come back. I'm like, please. I'm starting to lose faith that if they come back, it's going to be really good.
Another thing is, I just was saying this. I've always loved divas ever since I was a kid. Like I used to watch divas live, like on VH1. Like I loved like Cher, Tina Turner. Like I love divas, and the the thing that I love the most about them is they love being older bitches. Like, they love being like, I am an older woman. You're going to respect me.
Yeah.
I paved the way for you bitches. Like, they stood in that. And they were comfortable in that. And I feel like the pop stars who are like our age or like the older, like in their late 30s, going to their 40s, I feel like they're not comfortable like that. Like, I feel like they still are chasing after some like youth, and they're not comfortable being like, I paved, like, not in a like negative way. Like, for instance, Mariah Carey is the last diva. Like, I love Beyonce, but she not a diva. Like, I know she has a song called Diva, but like, I'm trying to think. In a diva, I feel like Beyonce is very nice. I feel like Mariah Carey is going to tell you bitches, none of you bitches can out sing me.
She gonna say, stop singing my part live. Yeah,
exactly. And I feel like, Mariah Carey was always like that, but she couldn't even wait till she got a certain age to be like, yeah, this is what this shit is. And I feel like a lot of these like older millennial women, they don't have that.
You think that they try to have it, it's just not received well? Because some could argue that Nicki Minaj has it.
Oh, I feel like Nicki Minaj definitely has it. It don't translate well. It definitely don't translate well, but she definitely does have it. The thing is,
It's too selective.
It's too selective. I love Nicki Minaj. I think she's very talented. But I feel like it's too selective, and it's like random. Like, it's random too. And I feel like if somebody like in my 40s or somebody like this old, like, and okay, I feel like I'm over the place. It comes with the audience too. I feel like as an audience, a lot of people don't have respect for older women, like, or women who are like reaching their 40s, like we did as kids.
Yeah.
Because I automatically, when Tina Turner got on the stage, I automatically respected her. Like, she's not even my mom. Like, none. I just automatically respected her as a legend. Period. Even Janet Jackson. Janet Jackson. And Janet Jackson was like, Janet Jackson was in her 30s when like we was kids. Yeah. And like 40s. I automatically respected Janet Jackson. Like, automatically as a legend.
Yeah, and also, I'm about to say it's a discrepancy there.
It is a discrepancy, and also I feel like a lot of them don't put the work in. Like the shit that Janet Jackson was doing, like the shit that Tina Turner was doing, like the stuff that these people was doing. They wasn't worried about bullshit. They was worried about their work. They
barely
had
commented. They barely commented. Even like a Toni Braxton, you know what I mean? Like they're like, we not addressing the dumb shit. Like that was their attitude. Do you feel like, I know a lot of people, Rihanna can't post a picture without somebody being like, we never getting new music. Are you like on her ass about new music? Like, how do you feel? I don't give a fuck.
I don't care. I'm like, if she want to like sell like hair care, if she want to go the Avon route, like that's her. Like, I really don't care. I feel like we have good songs from Rihanna that can last a lifetime. And I feel like she did her due diligence, and like I feel like we need to normalize people not like people stepping away from things that don't serve them anymore. Like maybe it don't serve her, maybe she's not in the mood, she don't feel like it.
I feel like she's not in the mood.
I feel like she's not in the mood, and I feel like people need to respect that
because
I feel like
what comes with that.
Exactly. And I was thinking about something else. Like, we live in a microwave generation. Like, every generation from, like, that, like, again, we grew up with microwaves. So we're used to things in the internet. We're used to things being instant. Like, why are you bothering people for new music? And that's why a lot of times people are putting out bullshit. Like that Katy Perry, like that music that she put out.
But were people really begging for her to come back the way they were begging for her?
I mean, maybe some kitty cats, but not me.
Oh my girl, literally, it's a big thing with Rihanna.
Yeah, true. But like, I'm like,
oh shit, Katy Perry.
It's the weirdest thing.
Yeah,
it's like Twitter will show you that there are rabid stands of everybody. It's
now that Twitter has shown me, but I think that it's the running joke with Rihanna.
But yeah, it's a running joke.
If you see a picture of Shakira, people don't be in the comments like, new music, ? They just kind of let Shakira exist. But with Rihanna, it's like a attack from new music. Like, she literally telling people, don't ask me.
But the thing is, I feel like people are just doing it for the key now.
Which is so annoying to me.
It is annoying because, for instance, remember everybody was like, free Bobby Shmurda, free him, blah, blah. Nobody's paying that nigga no attention that he's out.
Yeah, same with Boozy.
Yeah, is that? I mean, rightfully so.
But no, the thing is, I used to say free boozy when I was young because it was funny.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
now I'm like, he is a menace. Lock him back up. You can, like, put him back in jail.
Exactly, but
no, I hear what you're saying.
People just don't want to be seasoned. Like, I feel like people are scared to be seasoned. That's what goes down to.
So with the Rihanna thing, I like agree with you 100%. But I will say that, like, she can tease us sometimes, and it's like I won't be thinking about new music from Rihanna until she's like, yeah, I work on some stuff with Wyclef. I'm like, so. She will say, like, I'm making something, I'm working on this. And so I'm just like, okay, cool. Like, she has a right to really just take her time and, you know, really create it. Because that's what Beyonce did. Like, that's why fucking Renaissance was so great. Because she took her time and she made that shit. And even, like, sometimes, like, in 16 Carriages, she was saying something, 38 Summers, something. And I'm like, okay, cool. So she must have wrote this song when she was like 38 years old. And we all know, like, Beyonce's probably, what, 41, 42. So I'm like, we can speak to the fact that sometimes songs are great when they can marinate a little bit and not just be like hot off the press. But for me, I think that Rihanna was like a machine for a few years. Yeah. Like, if we really think about that, Rihanna was a fucking machine. Yeah, and she was giving us like rated R. She was giving us loud. She was giving us talk that talk. She was just, it's like back to back to back. She was touring. She was giving us videos. She was giving us new hairstyles. She was entertaining us on Instagram. I think she carried us like for pretty much like a decade on social media. She carried things. Yeah. And now it's like, okay, she's built like all these businesses from the ground up, which is quite impressive. And she is, even though we don't support billionaires, we do respect self-made women. Because that's self-made. Like, we try to say some of these folks who are born into nepotism are like self-made. No. She is self-made. This, like, I don't know if you saw, but her childhood home is like listed as an Airbnb. It's so humbling. Like, it looked like my grandma's house. You know?
Yeah, because there was like 2 bedrooms in there.
Exactly. It was very tiny, tiles on the floor. Like, it was very humble. But my whole thing is like, okay, imagine how it might feel to be a new mother in a relationship, having all these different businesses. And it's like, does that seem like the person who had the time to get in the studio, to rehearse, to train, to practice the choreography, and then to do a tour? Yeah. But I also wish artists knew, like, you actually can drop a project without giving a tour. Like, you're allowed to do that.
But you can, but if you don't but she has the funds to do it. But some people don't, because that's where a lot of their money comes from.
No, but tours. She has it. But like, cause look at Beyonce. I don't know. I mean, she may drop a tour for Cowboy Carter, but she literally.
I hope she don't. I mean, like.
I mean, I would go because I love Beyonce and I would be curious for the experience. Like, Renaissance was so beautiful. I would go, and I like the album. I would go, but my whole thing is like, she just did it, and like maybe she don't feel like going on a tour. Because it's
exactly.
Renaissance was a lot. Like, maybe, I don't know, for all I know, she might drop Act 3 and then do it like next summer. Side note, do you think you know what genre Act 3 would be? Some people are saying rock, and I don't want it to be that. I want it to be R&B.
Yeah, I don't want
to I think it's going to be cringy.
Yeah, I think it's going to be cringy too. Oh my God, what could it be? Like, could it be blues? She just did country.
That's boring. Please don't do blues. I'm sorry. Like, you barely got me with this country thing. Please don't do blues.
And it's crazy because I love country music, but I still have not listened to it. And like, I was talking to my dad about it, and I think it's because like my favorite country songs are about like the average Joe Schmo. Like, you don't even got $2 to get on the bus. Your man is cutting a full, you can't feed the baby. Like, people who like are struggling, like dirty, struggling. And I feel like this sounds so funny to say, but I feel like she's too rich to be a cowboy. And like, I will listen to it because I do love country music, and I can like, you know, like shut that part of my brain down for a while. But like I feel like the exciting thing about listening to country to me is hearing the grit in it. And I feel like she don't really, she's an actress, so she can make you feel like she has the grit.
Is she an actress?
But it's not really.
Does she be acting? I love her, but
please.
That's not.
But anyway,
I think for me, She is too rich to be a cowboy, but Cowboy Carter, I think, was catchy. I think
It
that,
definitely was. Like, I love the sound of that. Like,
yeah,
and I love the merchandise. The
yeah,
merchandise that came out, I love it. Like, it's.
right.
I feel like it doesn't get enough credit for like the phenomenal like marketing.
Yeah, but I mean,
But
like
yeah,
that's what she do best. So I'm just like, I think at this point, that's the standard she set for like all her like marketing
yeah. I'm gonna
materials.
say, and like, look at. I'm talking on this shit, but look at my phone. Like, we ain't really
Sabria,
seeing here.
please, not
But
her with the cowboy hat on. Come on, for the,
yeah, it's her and Cher.
that is hilarious. So for me, I like it because I'm like, I know Beyonce might be too rich to be a cowboy, but she's still a black woman. Like that's the end of
Yeah,
it, and she
that's
tolerates a lot of disrespect, even with her being at the the stage that she's at, and just knowing that this whole album was inspired by when people were turning their face up at her at the Country Music Awards, even though she had already reached that level of one of the greatest artists of all time. It showed to me, and I think it showed to her, that you are not exempt. You are not exempt from this treatment. And I feel like time and time again, we see Beyonce is not exempt from the disrespect
Yeah,
that
that's
comes with
crazy.
just existing as a black woman. And I think that album has had me rethinking patriotism, because for a minute, I was like boycotting everything, like, America this, America that. And I'm like, nobody has a right more to be a patriot when you think about it than black people. We built the country. We
definitely
really
did,
should be
but I'm
the
definitely
proudest
not
people.
proud of it.
But we built this. Like we built this and we have a right. And I feel like that's like, we live here, we experience here, but people make it feel like we are other, and that's why they treat us that way, and that's why we're not
Yeah.
proud of it. But I'm like, what if we were like, this is all my shit. Like I built this shit. You know what I
True.
mean? Like
It
you don't get to
definitely
treat
is
me
hard.
like that. You don't get to treat me
Yeah.
like that because you have what you have. I don't have what I have because of you. You have what you have because of me and my people. Okay? So it's like, why don't I get a right to like appreciate the country that I'm in? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
but definitely they took it over and
and I
twisted
have
it
nowhere else to go.
into
This is
something
where
else. Yeah.
there's nobody else who's a willing accept.
Yeah.
There's no one else who has open arms for Black Americans. Like, there's no one who has it. Like, we have to kind of claim ownership because we built this. Like, when you look at like we built all this shit, the statues, everything else. So I just thought that was a really cool take. I love the inclusion of other Black artists.
I
on the
do
album.
wish she used the Juneteenth flag though, but like I get why she did that.
Yeah,
American
it's about
flag, but-
patriotism and the
Yeah.
ownership specifically of this country. And this is why we are where we are, where we have people thinking that they are the true Americans and we're not. And we're just as much Americans as they are. Like, that's
Yeah.
to me, I feel like that's the narrative that she's trying to push, is that like, I'm not a subculture of America. Like, I literally
Yeah.
am in America. So the
Exactly.
Juneteenth flag is still just as powerful, because it's the same way that somebody can, like, I don't know if you've seen, but in the NFL, they have their like nationality, they have their flag on their helmets. That's like something new that was implemented, and I only know this because of the man that I live with. Like, that's the only reason why I know.
Not the man that I live with.
Yeah, I know this. And so he pointed out, like, oh, look at this person. They'll have an American flag and they'll have an Italian flag on their helmet, because they represent in the fact that they're American, but their family is Italian. So I'm like, in the same way, why can't we represent our American flag and our Juneteenth flag? Like, I just think that there might be something there, and I've been thinking about it. Even to the point with like it's a lot of Olympic gear coming out because it's about to be Olympic time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Sha'Carri Richardson is representing what? The U.S.
Yeah.
So I'm team what? Sha'Carri's team USA. I just feel like sometimes there's so much pain and like rejection from this country that we forget, like, we don't actually need people's permission. This is, I'm a citizen. I'm born here.
Yeah.
Like, that's
I
it.
feel like people would be more willing to like be like, woo, if like America hasn't done so much shitty things.
But who is America?
Who knows?
Like, America's not a person like sitting in an office like rejecting people. Like, America's not a person.
Yeah.
America's a place built with people, and the people
Yeah.
who have done so much. It's funny because they're dead and going probably in peace, and here we are like still thinking. Not to say that it don't matter, but it's just like, okay, it sucks that has happened, but it's like, what are we to do with that now? Like, what are we to do with that? You know, America has treated me bad. It has treated you bad, but we gotta take up and have some like ownership is what I mean. Like, I feel like that's what, I don't know. I'm about to start being obnoxiously American to people to remind them. Like, I started being like, Happy 4th of July to people at work. Like, yeah, you don't own 4th of July. You don't own patriotism. You don't own America. Because to own America would technically mean that you own, like, people want to get a house in this country. They want to do all these things in this country, but I don't feel like they feel like they belong here. So it's like, if you don't feel like you belong, how are you going to reach your goals?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we still can do it. I feel like it's just so hard because like there's so much blood on America's hands, and it's like it's gonna take us a while to scrub that to be like, oh, be like. I mean, I am proud to be Black American.
Right.
Like,
No,
I
I'm
am
not saying
proud
you in
to
particular.
be.
I'm just thinking of it. I'm not saying it's.
Yeah.
I have an answer, or that it's straightforward, or that
Yeah.
people shouldn't feel conflicted. This is just what is going through my mind, like at nighttime when I'm thinking about my like patriotism. Like, I'm not fully comfortable. I'm not gonna have an American flag outside my house. I'm not saying that,
Yeah.
but I'm just like rethinking. Like,
Yeah, I feel like having implementing like more Black holidays. Like, I'm so excited, like to like when I get older and be like implement like Juneteenth like with my own family. Like, I'm excited about that. I feel like implementing like more Black American holidays and us going up for it, going down south for Juneteenth and just going to the South more and like around Black people and learning, because I feel like that's where like Black American culture like really started in the South, and like just learning more about that. I feel like that's more exciting, and I feel like that's the patriotism like we can take like in like the Black Americans. I feel like it's just so tainted. It's so like patriotism is like it's just so like American patriotism is like so tainted that it's just so hard to scrub like my mind personally of like all the things that like for instance, like I've seen like a American flag next to a Israel flag, and like that gave me like the chills a little bit. Like, so it's like it's so hard to, because America is like American patriotism is always going to be on the side of the person who is just no up to no good.
I think that if that's the narrative that we like create, then that's what it'll be. But I think what the album made me, because I'm like, obviously, I think before listening to it, I was there, but just in listening to like, oh, I'm allowed. Like, I built this country. I've done this. I'm a American treasure. And then you're gonna tell me that I can't be proud of like who I am and cause confusion for my, like, make me confused about myself. I feel like we can reclaim our time and be like, this is what being an American is. Like, this is what being patriotic is. I don't have to follow what Joe Schmo, who supports Israel and who supports all these things. Like, we're not a monolith. And we don't have to act as one, because that's not the expectation for any country. Like, you can love where you're from and also like not agree with everyone, but I just feel like sometimes it's like handing over power, and this is why like these radical right people think that they own the ideal of America. That's why they think they can like make America great again, because they think they own the place that they barely have a part in building up. They just tear it down. So I'm like, who should have ownership over America? The people who actually go to work every day, do the right thing, inspire people, build it up. Like, that's what I think. I'm not saying that it's not idealistic, but that is what I would like to like reclaim as the idea of what a patriot is and like what America is. Like, you don't get to run it. You don't get to control like it. And I also don't really have any intentions, or at least not at this part in my life, I don't have intentions of living in another country. So I'm like, for as long as I'm going to live here, I want to shift the perspective. Like, I'm not proving to anybody why I belong to be here, or that I'm an American, or like anything like that. So yeah, just thoughts. We'd love to hear the audience opinion on patriotism, and you know how you feel about Cowboy Carter too. While you're at it, like, let us know. But yes, that was a riveting conversation. Let us know how you feel about the new format. How you're liking watching the show on YouTube, and you know, have a happy 4th of July. If you're not a patriot, that's fine. Just enjoy the day off if you have it.
And the barbecue.
And the fireworks. Just, take what you love.
Because they're going to be popping up fireworks for 2 weeks, y'all.
2 weeks. They've been popping them for 2 months already in my neck of the woods. So, yeah, they're going to November. I don't know what it is with black people and firecrackers, but they were shooting them, and it was, like, still light outside. I'm like, what bug bites you where you need to see some sparks so bad that you're going to...
black people.
In the evening.
But they don't even spark. Like, well, I don't see them. I just hear them.
Oh my gosh. The other day I was driving, and I saw beautiful, beautiful fireworks. And I was like, oh my God, this is the first time I'm actually seeing them. I only hear them, to your point. And then they sound like they're right next to you. So it's like, why is it that it sounds like you're in my house, like letting them off, but then I don't see them? It's crazy.
Also, speaking of patriotism, we are being from Philadelphia. It is going to be, everybody be careful tomorrow because it's going to be nuts. Like, Philadelphia, not Philly, Philadelphia does 4th of July.
Yeah.
Big.
Yeah, the city of the first president's house is about to be crazy. They do not play about the 4th of July in Philadelphia. Wawa and the city of Philadelphia do not play about the 4th of July.
They don't.
It's about to be nutso. But you know what? I am looking forward to watching the firecrackers from the rooftop. We can see it perfectly.
Oh my God, yes, you can!
Yep. We can see it perfectly. So we actually watched the firecrackers from the rooftop for the New Year. And I felt like, you know how they be doing those little TikToks and they be like looking like, yes, like I'm gonna be okay. Like that's how I felt. Like life isn't so bad after all. Like I really felt like the girl who realized that she's gonna be okay.
I didn't even think about that. You can.
Yeah. Yep. I was gonna say I could send you some videos from New Year's, but they were great. It was perfect view because it's like literally the art museum is not, it's within sight. So
wow.
You might be able to see them too.
Yeah, I can. I don't know why I'm acting like that.
I'm about to say, haven't you had exposure to this view for years? I'm proud of you. Not you guessing.
I just lied. You see how easy it is to lie?
Yeah, I'm actually proud of you though, because you're not usually good at lying, or you don't do it. But proud to be honest with you. So all right, y'all. That's it. We love y'all. Have a great day. Make sure you follow us on. Have a great day. It's freaking. What time is it at night for us? 9:32. But if it's day for you, have a good one. Make sure you follow us on the socials. Follow us on TikTok and Instagram at Black Girl Brunch. Follow us on Twitter at BLK Girl Brunch. Make sure you message us. Send us some love notes at blackgirlbrunch@gmail.com. You can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Imamate. You can follow me on Twitter at It's Mate and Sabria.
And you can follow me at It's Frank FM on Twitter. It's Frank FM on Instagram and Frank FM _ on Twitter, X, whatever. And It's Frank FM on TikTok as well.
That's it, y'all. That's the show. Bye.
Peace.